So we're going to go over a motor replacement in this Hoover Spin Scrub today. Motor failure on these is super common. Oftentimes the machine will turn on, but the motor has a very high pitch sound or grinding sound. Typically what causes that is someone borrowing your shampooer or your children using it. They will overflow the shampooer and they'll overflow suds or even water directly down into the motor, and then they leave it like that and your motor rusts. So what you're hearing when that motor gets high pitched or grindy or really loud is that it got left there and now the fan and other motor components are now rusted, and so it needs to be replaced. Again, very common with Hoover shampooers. They don't have a great system to protect the motor from getting rusty. This has been going on for over 30 years with these. And so this walkthrough kind of applies to a number of older Hoover shampooers which aren't exactly like this, but generally conceptually you're going to be looking at the same thing. So I'm going to take off this front piece right here and set that aside. And I'm going to start from the bottom. So there's 8 screws on the bottom. Pop this off. This is not screwed on, it just pops off. So you can apply pressure to one side and it will pop, and then apply pressure to the other side and it will pop right off. When you go to put it back on, this little gear thingy goes in there. So 8 screws, 1, 2, and then the screws have arrows on them right next to them, marking them. You do not need to take out the cord screws. There's a clear piece on this one that clamps the cord in, and for this purpose you don't need to do that. That clear piece is not present on all models. This is a very new model shampooer, so watch out if you're working on older units. If you're working on older units, oftentimes the screws are different sizes. My screws are all the same size, so I'm not worried about it, but on older units that's problematic. Oh, I missed 2 screws. There's 1, 2 on the top. That's embarrassing. Pretty sure my video editor can probably get rid of that. Whether she does or not, or whether she allows to embarrass me publicly on YouTube is the question. So that just pops right off. Set that aside. So your motor is right here. In order to replace the motor, we're going to have to pull out the front turbine assembly. This right here is an actuator arm that turns your turbine assembly and thus your brushes off when you bring it into the upright position. We're going to remove that. It's pressure fit in here. Carefully remove that without breaking it. Don't lose that spring. It likes to go flying, and you cannot purchase the spring separately. There's 2 screws up front, 1 screw in the back to pull this off. And then you'll disconnect this hose. If the hose is stuck, again, this is a newer machine, but if the hose is stuck, you can use a hairdryer or a heat gun to slightly heat it up. If you're really daring, you can even use a lighter and kind of heat it up, and it'll pop right off for you. This is a good time to give our disclaimer. This is going to get into electrical work here. Replacing the motor, we're going to be unplugging some electrical connections and plugging them back in again. This should only be done by an authorized Hoover Repair Center. Don't try this at home, kids. I'm not suggesting that you do this on your own. This video is intended only for authorized Hoover technicians. So this right here is the cord cover. This covers where the cord hooks up to the motor and everything. The cord kind of snakes in underneath it and then goes into the motor. So once you pull the cord cover, you can actually take these wires off if you so choose. The configuration of the wires is different model to model, but in this case, I have my white wire and then I have my green ground wire are crimped. And then my black wire, you'll notice this is a thermal fuse, I believe. Actually, this may just be a regular fuse and the thermal is in there. Either way, your motor should come with this on it, attached to it. And you'll want to be replacing this as well. If you're having an issue where the machine's not powering on at all, that may be what the issue is. So when replacing the motor, you should get that as well. Now, this I'm going to disconnect from the power switch. So I had 2 wire nuts I took off, and then I have just 1 blade that I pulled off the power switch. So I'm going to remove this cover now, that is on top of the motor. I find it easier to also, you don't have to, but it's way easier to just remove this clamp right here that holds the upper body to it. It's 4 screws. And the upper body will kind of come off, kind of flop backwards after you remove this piece. But I don't think you actually have to take that off, but I do. And then you're going to go around and you're going to look for all the screws that are holding the motor cover on. And just kind of go around here. Now the motor should still be attached to the, oh, I missed, oh, you know, I forgot I actually have to take out this front pump. This is the pump that runs the hose. It's a separate pump. It's only one screw that holds it in. And in this case, you can actually take that one screw out and you can pull this pump and just kind of lean it out of the way, because there's a screw right there you need to get to get the whole motor housing out. Now it should come out. Now the motor is going to be inside this housing still, because there's 2 screws I left in. One thing I want to point out while we're here, there is a motor gasket down here. This motor gasket is loose. It's not attached. It can move. It can get pinched like that. Any number of things can take place with this motor gasket. If you don't get it right, you're going to have a leak and you're going to have no suction. When you put it back together, pretty much nothing's going to work, because this whole unit is air driven. The pumps are air driven, the brushes are air driven. So you need to be careful to make sure that that gasket is intact and it's exactly where it needs to be. There's another gasket we'll see in a moment. So anyway, this is still held in. There's 2 screws, one right there and one right there. And now my motor housing is loose and will come off. On this particular unit, there's kind of an insulating foam right there that holds the cords in place. I'm going to pop that out, and now these cords will feed right through the side of the motor housing. There we go. And we see actually another gasket just fell off. So there's a gasket on the top as well that's grooved, and that goes in right there. There's a little groove in it. And it goes in right there on mine. And there's another gasket that's right here on the top of the motor. Now, I believe most of the new motors actually come with these gaskets attached to them, but just be aware they're there in case you do get a motor without a gasket. Maybe you can steal your old gasket. And that's it for motor replacement. Now you just do the reverse. You'll take your new motor, you'll put it inside that motor housing, snake your wires through here, shove that foam back in, clamp everything back down again. And do the opposite of what I just did. I'm not going to walk you through the other direction, because I'm pretty sure at this point you can get it back and you don't need to watch any more of me talking about shampooers.